I've searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in here. This very hour, for your presence in here. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek. I have searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in here. This very hour, for your presence in here. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm, waiting for the kingdom come. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm, waiting for the kingdom come. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek.
Good evening, church. So glad that you've tuned in. We are live at the house. My name is Ryan Kelly, and we are joined by Donnie Zacher tonight.
How's it going, guys?
I'm so excited. We get to hear some of Donnie's story in just a little bit, and what a crazy, awesome story you have. And I'm so excited that they get to hear it, and that we get to talk about your life and who you are today and what you've overcome. An incredible, brilliant story. You guys don't want to miss it, so stay tuned in. we are continuing our series on real faith, real talk. And a little bit later this evening, we will have a roundtable discussion talking all about following God's calling and following God's purpose. So don't go anywhere. And actually, if you could right now from where you're at, go ahead and like and share this feed. Continue to help us get the word out and the reach into our community and around the rest of the world. Thank you so much, guys. Well, what a good evening it is. Donnie, so glad you're here, that you're joining us.
Thank you, man.
How long have you been at the Father's house here in Oroville?
I've been here for about 4 years now. 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
So you came here when you were how old?
I was about 18 years old.
18? Wow.
Yeah.
You're a young guy.
I know.
I wish we had a picture, because I remember when you first arrived, and we still talk about it to this day, just the total night and day difference of that 18-year-old kid that showed up and who you are today. And actually, that's why we're having you on tonight, just to share some of that journey with us and what's changed for you. You know, I think, you're 18 when you came. A lot of people probably think, man, you came for the School of Transformation. But that wasn't the case for you.
No.
So what was the original purpose in bringing you here?
Well, I mean, I originally came here to kind of get away from probation for a little while. So we have a life recovery ministry program. It's a discipleship, and I went there because I was a heroin addict for about 5.5 years down in Pismo Beach area, Central California, and just miserable, just in and out of detoxes, in and out of juvenile halls, and nothing ever worked. Wow. And then I came here and just fell in love with this place, fell in love with Jesus, found Jesus for the first time in my entire life. And yeah. So that's great, and we're going to get to some of that, and we're getting ahead of the game just a little bit. That's all right. We're going to backtrack, because there's so much we don't want to just skip over. Yeah.
There's a lot of what you have to say that people can relate to and feel with and be inspired by and challenged by. So, you came here for the recovery program, Life Recovery Ministries, and now you're a student in our School of Transformation.
Yeah.
So you've learned quite a bit. You're not the same man that you were when you first came here. Mm-hmm. So Donnie, take us back, man. What was it that led you into becoming a drug addict in the first place?
I mean, I was very susceptible to just my friends and my friends group. My dad split when I was young, and I just didn't have any role models in my life. So all my role models came from my friends. It was always proving myself, and that just led me to starting to use drugs at a young age. My family accepted it instead of pushing it out, so they all used drugs as well. And
so your family accepted your drug use?
Yeah.
So they almost approved of it?
Yeah, they approved of it because, it was just a very liberal background, very, it's okay to smoke weed, it's okay to do all that, right?
Wow.
And
that was normal for you? Like, that was your normal?
Yeah, so that was my normal. And I just fell into my drug of choice, heroin, when I was about 13 years old.
Holy smokes.
That was my life. That's all I knew, it was terrible.
So what kind of things did that do in your heart? How you felt about yourself, about life? Like, how did that affect your relationships and what you were able to do in life at that point? I know you were only 13, but that had to have impacted you in many ways.
Yeah. I mean, I just always had to do things on my own, I always had to figure out a way by myself. I did things that were illegal. I did things that just destroyed my image. I just destroyed myself. I just consumed drugs and didn't really care if I lived or died. And just, I did terrible things to people. Stole from good people. I sold heroin to pregnant women, and just was a completely different human being. Wow. And hated myself, and it just continued to dig this hole, so that when I got here, I was a pretty broken individual. I destroyed every relationship that I had, anything that was good in my life. It was just terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could imagine. I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
It's from an early age. And so, like you said, so that brought you here. Yeah. You were broken. You arrived on the doorsteps of Life Recovery Ministries. Who was your house leader, by the way? Who was your first house leader?
Well, I mean, my house leader was Nick Zeppi. Okay. And a guy named Jonathan Wisman, who's no longer with us. But Nick, so, I mean, not a funny story, but when I first got there, it was a lot different back then. And I snuck heroin into the program.
Oh, man.
And he ended up catching me
Who,
doing
Nick?
it. Nick did.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
And he's a tall fella. So, I mean, he's
a big guy.
He's a big guy, yeah. So, but I was this little 18-year-old kid, and I just remember him, leaving me in my room, and I was just sitting in there loaded. And he comes back in the room, and he said, "You know what? You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to do something that nobody's ever done for you." And that one decision that he made, I am who I am today because of that. Because he could have easily just kicked me out onto the streets. He could have easily, but it was that first decision where I saw somebody actually love me enough to keep me, right? Love me enough to tell me right from wrong. And through this journey, he's been pivotal in my life, Yeah. Taught me work ethic, taught me how to be a man, taught me everything, And it's just, those type of men are here, And that's why I can sit here today and from an 18-year-old heroin addict till now,
I'm just shocked by the fact that you said it was the first time in your life that someone gave you a second chance, that believed in you, that honestly, under those circumstances, sneaking drugs into a recovery program probably would get you kicked out of most places.
Yeah.
But here you have a man, Nick, who just decides to believe in you, to have hope for you, because he's been in your shoes. And so that gave you that opportunity. And what was that like at first, the being here? And would you have called yourself a Christian when you first arrived, or did you get to know Jesus from being here? What was that like for you?
Yeah, I would say I knew of something like some kind of Christianity, right? But I didn't know Jesus. I was extremely confused. I was extremely selfish. I didn't understand it, right? And so I didn't understand it, so I pushed it away my entire life. And so coming here through men proving themselves to me, even though they didn't have to, through people loving me back to life, out of this just this incredible selfless manner.
Yeah.
I was able to find Jesus. I was able to find Jesus in, through these men who've proved themselves to me.
That's really good, Donnie. Yeah. So what has that been like for you, finding Jesus and maybe discovering who you are? What is developing a relationship with Jesus done for you? What victories has that allowed you to have in your life?
Just so many things, man. Just from this depth that I created for myself. I remember coming in here, right? And I was just so numb for so long that I think it was my second week here, and I just laughed so hard, right? So people see me nowadays, and it's like, that's a joyful guy.
Yeah,
I have joy through hardship and through pain, and it's just, I didn't have that. I never had that. I always just hated everybody and hated myself and hated life and was just so angry, And I just remember laughing, and it was just like, dude, I have joy again. I'm able to, be myself and be happy.
Yeah.
And just that was a huge victory, right, in the beginning. And so, and then just from then on, just having integrity and character and just building this relationship with Jesus and the men around me so that I can be a strong Christian man, you know? Who is Donovan really, And I'm still on that journey. I'm going to be on that journey for the rest of my life, but
you're discovering it, and you're finding it out, and you have hope today. And not only that, but you're giving hope to people around you, just in your ability to overcome and what you've gone through, and you're saying yes to Jesus, and the position it's put you in today to influence those around you has been incredible.
Yeah.
So if you could tell us, who is Donnie Zacher today, what would you say?
Man, today I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of character. I'm trustworthy. I can be left alone with people's children, with people's wives, and it's just I've never had that before, right? People trust me with money, with jobs, with all these things, and it's our pastor constantly talks about people not being able to be trusted with the poison sprayers. You spray on the weeds, right?
Yep.
And it's I couldn't even been trusted with that when I was younger, and now it's
with how to use one,
I know, and it's I've been just given so much, and that's who I am today.
Yeah,
I'm a man that endures through hardships.
Yeah, you certainly are, Donnie, and so many other things on top of that. You really are loyal and faithful, and and trustworthy, responsible, hardworking. I mean, the list goes on. You know, we've replaced those other lists that you had growing up with some new lists, man, and it's been incredible to watch some of your journey and just transformation, giving into a life of Jesus and what that's done for you. Thank you so much for sharing, being real and vulnerable about your story with us. Thank you so much. I hope you guys were listening and taking that in. Donnie Zacher, everybody, just an incredible man. Definitely a man that you can follow and befriend. You guys, if you haven't already, please like and share this feed. Coming up next, we have a roundtable discussion. Don't go anywhere, all about following God's calling. So it's going to be epic. We'll see you guys later.
I started using drugs at a really young age. I was about 11 or 12. I started drinking, smoking weed. My drug abuse just progressed from there. I started getting in trouble with the law. You know, my life was very miserable. I ended up turning into an adult who lost custody of her child and was serving time in Butte County Jail when I found out about Life Recovery Ministries. Since coming to LRM, I've gotten to meet Jesus. My life's amazing. You know, days are hard sometimes, but it was the people here that made me want to stay. You know, I heard people's testimonies that were just like mine, but their lives, I wouldn't have known that they'd ever used a drink, and they had kids and wives and husbands, and they were actually like trustworthy, good people, and they came from the same places I came from. I wanted what they had desperately. I have Jesus now, and I have identity and worth. I know who I am today. And I walk in forgiveness. I wouldn't have been able to do that without coming through Life Recovery Ministries.
I'm Nick Zeppi, a leader at Life Recovery Ministries. We offer a 12-month residential recovery program centered around community, accountability, and Christian discipleship. If you are struggling with addiction or any other life-controlling issue, we are here to help you find freedom, reconcile with family, and equip you with life skills so that you can be successful. I have been where you're at. I destroyed my life with methamphetamines. I burned bridges with those I loved, and I wanted to die. But then I found Life Recovery Ministries, and my life was changed forever. Now I help others find the new life that I have gained. Since 2004, we have helped hundreds of men and women just like you find hope and transformation. Over 70% of our graduates never reoffend. You don't have to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Call Life Recovery Ministries today and let us show you a different way.
That was a great interview, Ryan. Thanks so much. Ryan's your husband.
Yes, he is.
Isn't he a cutie?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Oh, you're so lucky. Donovan, great job. I love hearing your stories. These testimonies are so wonderful. If you're just joining us, I'm Nicole Wallace, and I'm one of the pastors here at the Father's House. And tonight we're talking about God's calling on your life, how to identify whether or not he's calling you for something different, how to follow him, and kind of what that looks like. So I have with me Miss Lisa Kelly and Mr. Yost. I'm not even going to try your last name. Can you share with us your last name? Because I can't get it.
Jos van Huysen.
There, you heard it here first. We have, I don't know if some people may not know that Orrville has a lot of missionaries from different countries and different states. And I think a lot of people don't know or aren't aware of that, which I think is so special that Orrville would have so many internationals, that God would love Orrville so much to send so many people to here. I wanted to know just kind of briefly, Lisa, what country you're from, first of all, and then kind of like how long you've been here, and then what was your kind of journey of landing here in Orrville, California?
So I am from Canada. I've been here a little bit over 6 years. And my journey was a bit of a messy one. But thankfully led me here.
I think all of our journeys are slightly messy. I mean, let's be honest. If you're following, you're saying yes to Jesus. It can be pretty messy, right?
For sure. Well, the problem was that I didn't listen right away. That created a lot more mess. No, I came from Canada 6 years ago. I had visited. I did a 3-week mission trip here, and I really liked it. I mean, I loved the team right away. I just actually did feel at home now that I think about it. And I loved what everyone was doing here. I loved the purpose and just the attitude, the teamwork, all of it. But I really thought I'll just visit again sometime. But the thing was that then I went home and I had my own plans and my own ideas, and they weren't just really obeying Holy Spirit. It was my own ideas, and I wasn't really listening to him. So I kind of wasted a year of attempting my own stuff.
How do you know that you weren't listening to him? I think that's a valuable point.
So now looking back, I had a lot of secret sin in my life. I also didn't know him very well. I knew about him, but I didn't have a great relationship with him. I had a whole lot of bitterness and judgments. I had fear, self-hatred, like a long list of things actually that stopped me from really hearing him well, or stopped me from trusting him as well when I did hear him. So now looking back, I think I did know already that I was supposed to be here if I would have been honest about it. But I wanted to do my own thing.
Kind of an unsettling in your spirit, kind of like, I know I'm kind of, something's wrong, but I'm kind of
that I had to cover up,
it
actually.
Yeah,
looking back now. And so I tried that first, and all those doors slammed in my face. And as
it often does when God's trying
brutal,
to get our attention.
So it wasn't great. But yeah, anyway, I think what changed it was that I just started seeing the word California everywhere, which whatever, we don't do the whole just that sign by itself, but just it got my mind going that direction. And then staff members started showing up in my dreams, which really was like, okay, all right.
Wow.
And so I visited again, and during that time I decided, I really need to do this, and I'm so glad that I did.
Wow. And you came to our School of Transformation, and then gradually went through the program, being an intern at that point.
Yeah.
And then you were ordained last January.
Quite
so
the
you're
journey.
one of the pastors here on staff. As well, Lisa might look very familiar to you, as she's one of our worship leaders, along with her husband, Ryan. And she has been blessing us with her talent, and every time we have a service, actually, lately. So thank you for that. Yos, where are you from? And what did it look like for you saying yes to God? Kind of like your journey. So where are you from? Let's start with that.
I'm from the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
I came here 5.5 years ago.
Wow.
Also from a mission trip, outreach. The funny thing about my story is more, I just didn't want to come here. I had a hard time with it.
Originally when you came for the mission trip.
Yeah, on my mission trip, yes. Because there were so many things here that challenged my belief and my faith. And it was really in my face, and I just really didn't like that. And so it was really interesting. During that mission trip, there was one person that said, I really feel like you should come back. And at that moment, I was like, no. That's not going to happen. So
did somebody here tell you that they felt like you should come back, or someone on your team? Okay.
No, yeah.
Kind of felt like you fit here, and this might be something.
Exactly.
You're like, I know.
Yeah, that was my response.
Thanks, but no.
So I went back home, and really what got me back to this place was that I went to England to meet up with a friend that came here too, and we were just talking about this place. And out of nowhere, his mom says, "It sounds like you got a passion for this place." And I don't know why. I don't know why she said that, because we were just randomly, bringing up memories. And, but I couldn't shake that. I couldn't shake that whole sentence. It kept on going on in my head over and over and over again. Why? And maybe I should just check it out. Come back, see it for myself without all the ideas and the beliefs that I had before. And so that's when I came here, and it changed.
So there was just pretty much a sentence that happened from someone that you were talking to, that God just kind of burrowed into your soul, and you came back. Now, you came back not necessarily all on board with God having you here. I mean, you were kind of kicking and screaming when you came.
Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge point. When we're following God, or attempting to, or trying to be obedient in our lives, that we can often just think that we're going to have the warm and fuzzies, or we can think that all the stars are going to line up in our whole life. And obviously that doesn't happen often. Yeah. I think sometimes there's a little bit more persuasion. Yeah. And sometimes there's just I just want to do this. Yeah. So you came kind of kicking and screaming. So what were the hardships that you overcame to do that, to come here within yourself? What were things that you had to overcome?
At that time, like, I was really not open-minded to a lot of like the teachings. I had it in my head a lot of like, oh man, just speaking a different language, right? Like English is not my first language. So it's in my head a lot of like, oh man, what if I mess up? What if I say something wrong? What if people are going to make fun of me just because I say something wrong? And so I was battling a lot with myself. And you know what really drew me out of that was like what I received, like the community, everything that I got here, where it wasn't that people were going to make fun of me, but like really embraced me. And then of course, like more and more being challenged to be open-minded about like, everything that is being taught. And all of a sudden I was like, man, this is exactly what the Bible says, right?
Yeah.
And like, I
you
have
started
to change.
investigating yourself.
Yeah.
You started digging into the scripture yourself and seeing that what maybe you had interpreted as a Christianity maybe was a little off. Is that maybe the accurate?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like in my school of transformation, then I was constantly asking questions to Jordy. I was challenging him a lot. But every time, like, he would tell me stuff and I would look it up. And I'm like, oh man, it's true. And so it's these moments where you have to choose, am I going with what I want to believe or what it says?
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was my change. That was the moments that I was like, okay, I'm going to do that.
That's incredible.
I want to follow that.
That's really incredible. Thank you for sharing. Lisa, how has your journey changed from that girl, that came 6 years ago to this woman that sits next to me now, to a real lover of Jesus? Because I think that anybody that meets you knows that you truly love him and really aspire to follow him. So how has that changed you?
Oh boy, and we can't take the whole 20 minutes on this. No. Okay, all right. No, I getting to know Jesus and then getting to know people as well and being able to trust people. I didn't know how bad I was at that when I got here. Like, I would have known to an extent, but not how deeply I didn't trust people. And I didn't think that they really liked me or loved me. And so I was against people a lot and I wouldn't really let them in. And so, Danielle was a huge part of that, just really stepping into my journey and just helping change that. A lot of things actually changed really quickly with that, with just like, hey, we got to look at these things, and she really helped me a lot with that. But also just the community loving me, helping me love myself, changed it a lot. My theology changed here too, actually a little bit, which really helped me get on the right path to actually acting the way that I should and knowing how important that is. And so that by itself actually cleaned up a whole lot of things that I was allowing in my life that were blockages. And so, just so much has changed.
What do you think changed your theology? Was it people slamming it down your throat? Was it, just merely following men? Or did you have hard work to play in that, as Joseph was saying?
Yeah, definitely my own obedience and actually finding out for myself too, and not just taking it, but actually look, okay, let me find out for myself. A big part of it was learning about how to read the Bible actually, and not just kind of taking the whole thing as everything being exactly the same and receiving it all the same. So reading the Gospels was really big, just getting to know how important that is. That really cleared up a lot of confusion for me, because before I would have just been, Christianity's confusing. Yay.
Right.
Yeah, it's just kind of, that's what it is. And so you just pretend that everything's fine and carry on. And here I really got to wrestle through that and then actually come to helpful conclusions, which just really helped me feel like there was a purpose behind it a lot more. And it wasn't just be confused until heaven. It was like actual, like, no, I can know and I can be confident in this. And so that's been really different. And I'm really happy that I've had that clarity in my life.
Wow. That's really amazing. I love how you guys have pointed out just kind of that inner wrestle within yourself to answer the questions. And both of you in following God's plan and direction, you really had to say yes, even if you wanted to say no.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't deny the fact that God was kind of putting his hand on you.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I've got to watch a lot of your journey, either from far away or close up, but it's been so beautiful to watch both of you say yes to the Lord and change and wrestle with that inner voice. Like, what is God's plan for my life? And how do I do this? Since saying yes to the Lord, Yos, how has your life changed? How have you become different in the last 5.5 years? Obviously you stayed longer. So, I thank you. Thank you for making Orville, for both of you. Thank you for making Orville a place that God has called you. And we're so honored that you would give up your lives and your livelihood, your families, go far away, and make this place blessed by your presence. But the journey that got you from the yes, the fight, the inner struggle to now, because you are also a staff member and you have come on staff. For those of you that don't know, Yos is the main reason we are successful on this broadcast.
That's right.
So let's give him a big round of applause. He's always here, and you've really owned this, and it's been incredible. And I think that you can really say that anyone that's found Jesus, you can say, I've had a part in that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the growth, let's talk about that for a moment. Just your growth from saying yes, the wrestling it out, to now.
It's really what you say, like the yes, I came here being a no man, and that really changed. So now saying yes to so many things, like I've had so many just things being given to me, like leading worship, which I never thought I would have done.
Yeah.
Like I was scared, really scared to do that stuff, but I always wanted to do it, and that with like just leading men in life recovery ministries, and so many things where I just got the confidence to do it, and really having people behind me that push me towards it, like, hey, you can do this, and really feeling the support helped me grow in so many areas, like to really be the man that God calls me to be, and to not give in to fear and what I'm scared of, but really be courageous and step out in doing all these things that are normally really scary, and I don't know what to do, but it's really cool to see where I'm at from where I was. Yeah.
It's so neat to watch you be this man that people can follow, and you came to us a boy and now you're a man. And I just honor you for that. The fear involved, I think you touched on that, like the fear involved in saying yes, or I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to overcome this. Lisa, how have you overcome fear in your life in this way that has caused you to flourish? I mean, what was the process for you? I mean, you kind of touched on it slightly, but maybe dive in a little bit deeper about touching on that fear. What if God doesn't speak to me? What if, what if I'm not in the right place? What if I'm not following God?
Because it's a big risk. It's like, there's a lot on the line, especially moving that far, everything that it takes, money and time, and just, there's a lot of inconveniences with it actually, and not getting to see my family ever. Like there's a lot, there's a lot on the line. And so there's this fear, hey, what if I did this wrong? And I like, it was a waste, So, one of the things actually that Jesus showed me about that is that it's up to me whether or not that's a waste. Like I get to decide now.
Wow.
I get to, based on how I live my life here, based on how I choose to follow him, especially since my heart has been to follow him, even if I had stuff in the way. It's been that I wanted to give him my life and help people and love people. And so I actually got to just start confidently deciding, no, this will not be a waste. I will do the best with this that I can. I've chosen to be here. If he ever says something different, then we'll explore that. But for now, he has me here, and I will make sure that I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And that's really changed my journey a lot with those fears. And then even like with financial stuff, right? Because, it's different financially.
It's so hard.
Right. It's, been a lot of just like make little decisions, and he's shown up every single time. Every single time he's made it work. I'm a spoiled brat in the kingdom that he's just like,
amen.
For some reason, it just works all the time. And I know that it will. And I have so much more than I deserve, with just, okay, I'm going to even help the people around me and give more than what I think I can afford. And just every single time it has worked, and I'm okay. And I actually have like nicer things now. Like, it's just, wait a second. Like, I'm almost hesitant to say, because it's like, I'm not doing it for that, but he's just a really good dad.
Yeah.
And he's shown me that. And so I can give up bigger things because of what I've already seen him do. And because I don't deserve everything that I have, and I have no reason not to give to people. And so, that's been a really big part of my faith journey as well, is just seeing him show up in every way. And just be part of my journey, that I don't have to wait until I get to certain things and then I get to be close to him, that he's been a part of the whole thing, and has really just been so merciful and generous to me through all of it, and I see that now more than ever.
And just in a brief little snippet to anybody watching that might feel like they're supposed to go somewhere, they're supposed to do something, they're supposed to make a big move,
Yeah.
What would you tell someone really quickly that's watching that might be feeling the call of God in their life for something? What would you tell them and to do when they're hearing the Lord?
Really not like giving into fear, asking people also in your life that, leaders that you trust, people that you trust, to like pray for you, and really hear what they have to say.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
What about you, Lisa? What would you
Just
tell
do it.
somebody? Just do it. Just go for it. Jump off the ledge.
Yeah. That's if we're going super quick answer, then it would be that. But yeah, just like he's saying too, just talk to people that are trustworthy, that have shown that they follow Jesus, and that, they hear him well and they obey him. Just, hey, I kind of feel like this is where God might be leading me, and see what they say. Right. And don't go by too like logical, financial.
No. Because logic doesn't make sense in the kingdom of God. It really doesn't. He is a different kingdom.
Yeah, he can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants.
He can make it work.
Doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's probably God. I mean, honestly, like when things happen and we're placed in positions that don't make sense in our vernacular here on this world, but if you think about the upside down kingdom and how God reigns, he's super opposite to how we think. So I think one of the biggest points I would say off of what you guys have said is no fear, living in no fear. The regular mathematical equations don't add up in the kingdom of God. So give your life away, say yes to Jesus, and then submit your life to those people in front of you and get their blessing, get their blessing to doing what you felt the Lord is calling you to do. With that said, we have a School of Transformation. It's a 4-year school or a 6-month school, depending on what you feel the call of the Lord is. We have lots of teachers that are in it. And the other thing we have is, you ever want to come check out the Father's House here in Oroville, we have a missions department that you could come and check us out. We can put you up, and it's kind of like a mission trip is what it is. We would love to have you come. And thank you guys so much for being so candid with us. And again, leaving your countries, your families, your place that you called home for so long, and made a stamp here in Orville. You will not regret the fruit that's going to come from and has come from your life. Tomorrow night, we have some more Real Talk, Real Faith. No, we do not. Tomorrow night, we have worship. Yes, worship. That's right. Didn't you love that? It was such a nice surprise last Friday, because I had forgotten all about it. So Friday night, tomorrow night, join us for a whole worship set with no interruptions.
That's right.
That's the best part. No interruptions. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. Please share this broadcast with your friends. Tag them, anyone that you think might benefit from hearing from this. And we'll see you again tomorrow night. I'm Nicole Wallace, and we'll love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See ya.